Hey guys, it's WOTV here, and in War of the Visions JP, they've just announced that Dark Golem and FF6 Trials of Reckoning 2 are coming to the game next week. Both of them, of course, represent upgrades for two of the latest units in the game, Kefka and Dialdo. So stay tuned to the end of this video because I will be showing you guys my current Guild Battle offense team that features Kefka at the center of it all. And later this week I will of course have videos for you guys demonstrating Kefka and Dialdo in separate videos, as well as a video that shows you one of the upcoming units you should be saving up for in War of the Visions global version. So if you're enjoying my War of the Visions coverage here on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring the notifications bell, and leave a like and comment on this video. Tell me what you want to see next, which video you want to see first, the Kefka video, the Dialdo video, or that video that tells you what units in the future you should be saving for. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the subject of today's video, and that is of course the new Dark Asper coming out next week, Dark Golem. He is a cost 90 vision card and Asper for let's see here, Earth and Ice teams. So let's take a look at the vision card itself. It's a pretty straightforward vision card, and both its party ability and bestowed ability effects only benefit Earth and Ice units, so you want to take note of that. For the party ability, for Earth and Ice units, they will get AoE resistance, that's area resistance up, as well as defense up, and then when the card is fully maxed at level 99, the effect obtain AP up will also be presented on the vision card. Now that's not a new effect, of course, I almost got it wrong, but yeah, pretty much this seems to be a straight up defense card that you can run for both your Ice and Earth teams. Let's take a look at the bestowed effect. Again, this is pretty straightforward. As long as you equip this card on a Earth unit or an Ice unit, they will straight up get maximum HP up. So we'll take a look in just a bit what this card is like compared to two other vision cards that are currently available in the game for Earth and Ice teams. But before we go into that, I want to take a moment to translate for you guys the Dark Golem Asper evocation effect. And it says here, when you activate the evocation skill, you summon Dark Golem to come out and do Earth MAG base damage L to all units in this AoE, and those targets will receive 3 turn Earth resistance down. And on top of that, you will activate the temporary map effect where all your allies will get their ATK and MAG increase for a limited time, and if they are Earth units, then the increase in ATK and MAG will be further increased. And on top of that, the map effect will also give all enemies on the field Earth resistance greatly reduced. So it seems like another great effect on a Dark Asper, and you definitely want to be using this for guild raids whenever you have a Earth team that you can run. Moving on, next up we're gonna talk quickly about the Dark Golem Asper for a bit. Unfortunately, we don't really have a lot of details right now. The only bit we have is that when you awaken Dark Golem to 3 stars, you will gain sleep resistance on the Asper itself. For the rest of the abilities on Dark Asper, we will unfortunately have to wait until next week. It's going to be quite interesting to see what they decide to give him, because I believe Dark Golem is our first Dark Asper that's meant to be defensive, that's meant to be run on a tank. So I definitely expect, on top of the 15 defense that you usually get with all of the tank Aspers, I definitely want to see something like missile resist, strike resist, and I wonder what else they will give him. So with Dark Aspers on the offensive side, you usually have something like Man-Eater Art. That's quite a common ability that a lot of them have. But for the defensive side, I mean, one is like the, what do you call it, the what is the counterpart to Man-Eater on the defense side, right? So that's the kind of thing I'm wondering about. Maybe they will give him area resistance or single target resistance on the Esper node. We do have an Esper in the game that has area resistance, so it's definitely possible that Dark Golem may gain something like that. But enough speculation, we'll wait until next Wednesday to find out the detailed stats on Dark Golem, the Esper itself. Now moving on to the cards that I wanted to compare Dark Golem to. So basically, as you can see here, I have WOTV Calc whipped up here on the screen. This Dark Golem Vision card is pretty much a straight up upgrade to 2 cards in the game right now. On the Earth teams, you have Dreams of Heroism. As you can see here, Dreams of Heroism give your dark units, sorry, not dark units, your Earth units 20 AoE resistance as well as 13% HP. Now compare that to Dark Golem. Of course, we don't know the exact numbers that Dark Golem presents, but definitely we will see at least 20 AoE resistance for sure. Maybe it may even be increased to 25. And then for the HP side, that's not actually on the party ability on the card itself, but for Dark Golem, we have defense up, so that's likely to be 12 defense up. And then, of course, we do have a HP increase effect on the unit effect side, but that's not going to be, I think, too big of an upgrade over what is currently here with the Dreams of Heroism card. But basically, if you have Dark Golem in the future, it's going to straight out replace this card in your Earth teams. But if you don't want to pull for Dark Golem right away, and right now I'm thinking most likely I don't want to be pulling on Dark Golem right away. So for people who don't want to pull him, you can still, you know, have a great time with Earth teams using just Dreams of Heroism if you have that Vision card max. And then on the Ice side of the spectrum, Dark Golem is straight up a upgrade to MAX Maniple, which as you can see here gives you 20 AoE resistance as well as Pierce, Attack 18 and Critical Rate 25. So Ice teams these days don't really run Pierce units anymore, right? I mean, of course, if you want to, you can run Arania, you can run Victoria, but they are not really considered the meta units right now in the game. They have not been so for a while now, so there's actually very little reason to run this Vision card except for the AoE resistance part. So I would say for Ice teams, it's definitely a better idea to have you know, Dark Golem being used alongside with Dark Odin. That will pretty much give you almost the full effects for area resistance and single target resistance. So that's going to be a killer Dark Esper combo that I look forward to seeing on the battlefield next week once people get their hands on Dark Golem. But you know, like I said, back to the argument about whether or not you need to have Dark Golem. I think for Ice teams, right, if you have this card MAX Maniple, I don't think you really need to have Dark Golem right away. And actually right now, even in JP or in Global, whenever you run like a typical meta Ice teams, we don't actually even run MAX Maniple for the most part. I believe the most common pairing for Vision cards is something like Dark Odin and then Laswell's Vision card, which is this card right here, and then the third card is usually something like Snow's Vision card, or another common one is Freezes, if you have especially if you have a magic unit in the game. Sorry, if you have a magic unit on your team is what I meant. So that is usually like the killer combo right now for JP and Global version. But if you were to get Dark Golem, I think most likely you take out Phrases and then you run Dark Odin, Dark Golem, and Last Wild's Vision card, and that's going to give you the complete coverage in terms of defense and in terms of speed. But you do miss out on a bit of offensive damage, since this card here, Freezes, gives you Ice Attack 35, and that is actually quite huge. And of course you do get 25% HP up, which is, I think, the maximum amount you can get from a vision card. So I don't know, it's going to be a bit of a dilemma whether or not Dark Golem ends up being a meta pick in terms of vision cards for ice teams. And of course, I'll update you guys on what the situation is after all the JP players have had a chance to pull for him and have had a chance to run them in Guild Battle. Alright, so that's going to be it for Dark Golem. One more thing we gotta talk about before actually two more things we gotta talk about before I end off this video. And the first thing is the other announcement they've made this time, which is Trials of Reckoning Part 2 for the FF6 rerun. As you can see here, this time the new equipment that you can get from Trials of Reckoning is Kefka's clothes, the Jester costume here. So I'm expecting this to be a great piece of upgrade gear for Kefka, and of course for all of the FF6 units as well. Again, with Trials of Reckoning 2 this time, not too different from the first one, but the units are going to be quite interesting, or rather the bonus vision cards are going to be quite interesting, because both Dark Golem and the Kefka vision card have the XL bonus effect. And then for L and M and S, I'm not gonna translate all these cards for you guys, because I think by the time this Trials of Reckoning comes out in global, most of the time they actually change a lot of the bonus vision cards. So I'm not gonna go into detail for that, but all I'll say for now is that I'm definitely looking forward to what the new piece of gear is going to do for Kefka. And yeah, so check back with me next week to see like a fully powered up version of Kefka, if you will. But for now, before I leave you off with this video, I'm gonna show you guys what I've been running in Guild Battle so far. And then later this week, I will have a video showing you guys how this team actually works in terms of, you know, showing off actual battles in the game. Now, so far, as you can see here, the way that I've sort of built my Kefka team, and this is actually the meta composition for Kefka in Guild Battle. Even in last month's Guild Battle map, right after Kefka came out, the most common pairing is actually Kefka, King Mont, and Yuffie. And this month, after the new map came out, it seems like this team here is still also the best way to run Kefka if you want to run him. And the reason that is because initially I actually tested Kefka, Yuffie, and some other unit like Setia or Valentine Ildira, but as it turns out, if you only have Yuffie as your sole evade tank, a lot of teams out there, a lot of meta teams can still easily deal with her, even with the maximum evade vision card. So at the end of the day, it seems like you will still need a proper tank in order to get the maximum effectiveness out of Kefka and out of Yuffie or whatever unit you choose to run here. And but of course, Yuffie is an amazing unit in the game, one of the two evade units right now in War of Visions JP that have guarantee hit nullify as an effect for 3 turns. So for that reason, I feel like she is still one of the best fire attackers in the game. And so the team composition end up being something like this. You can of course replace Yuffie with your choice of fire attacker. I think a lot of people put Roy Mustang, or even actually you can replace this slot with, you know, any attacker in the fire element or in the lightning element as well. I'll explain that once we get into the actual Guild Battle showcase video for Kefka. I've seen some people run Roy Mustang in this slot, but personally I feel that Roy is not that great a unit. So I would actually advise against that, and I see that the teams running Roy Mustang and Kefka don't actually perform that well for the most part. If not Yuffie, actually personally I would run Setia, just to give you a little bit more damage. I guess Tina, or rather Terra in War Divisions Global could be a good pick as well, but I don't really want to spend the resources to get her to level 140, so I haven't actually tested that out. And then in terms of the vision card choice, I do run Dark Ifrit here for more damage, and then of course Dark Tetrasulfate is here for damage as well. For evade, I only have a single evade card. So Yuffie is not that evadey, but against teams that are not prepared to fight an evade unit, she still does incredibly well. And I feel that in order to not sacrifice on damage, I don't want to run too many evade cards for Yuffie. And then finally, the last 2 slots for vision card on Kefka. First of all, on the main VC, actually I showed this to some Visible members, and the first thing they asked me was, why did you put the Rain VC as the main slot and Kefka's VC as the sub slot? Because some people felt that, Rain VC is not that fantastic. You don't really need to put him on, put this vision card on the main VC slot. But the reason I choose to do so, and my JP guildmates choose to do so, is because the Rain vision card does deal with one weakness of Kefka, which is accuracy, and as you can see here, it gives you the party ability accuracy up 13 for all of your fire units, and on top of that, for the bestowed ability effect, it gives you accuracy plus 23. So the only reason I have this here in the main slot is so that Kefka can more consistently hit units like Starlight Elena with Steel Beta in JP and a bunch of half evade units, and sometimes he can even hit fire evade units if he tries hard enough. And for that reason, of course, I have Alexandrite Ring plus 6 here as well. So with the Rain VC taking up the main slot, I have to put Kefka's VC in the sub slot, and it's still pretty great in the sub slot. So as you can see here, the numbers are not too shabby. One thing I want to talk about is if you decide to put the Kefka VC in the main slot, then what happens is King Mon's defense goes all the way up to 89. And so when his defense is at 89, when he uses his the move that gives him defense up, he actually reaches over 100 defense, which means that if the enemies that you're fighting do not have defense penetration, you're gonna see them do exactly 1 point of damage to King Mons, and that's been quite entertaining for me to see. But unfortunately, in a real situation, in most guild battles, you're going to be facing off against teams with an incredible amount of defense penetration, so it actually doesn't help you that much, even if you decide to put Kefka's vision card in the main slot. Alright, so that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show you guys what I've been playing around in Guild Battle. This team here has given me really good results, mostly because this team can beat almost any team in a 1v1 scenario, just because King Mon will go in and try to berserk everyone, and if for some reason nobody gets berserk, then Kefka can still come in and cause confusion for everybody, and you can actually just win off of that. And even if they don't fall prey to the berserk and confusion strategy, you still have a lot of damage with Kefka and Yuffie, while managing to keep everyone safe with King Mont in front. And sometimes on his second turn, if Kefka is far away from the front lines, he will actually heal up King Mont to make him sustain a little bit longer. So far, I find that this team is incredibly balanced. Now, as for the actual game footage, I'm sorry, I have to make you guys wait a little bit longer, but it's coming very shortly, and let me know if that's the next video you guys want to see, or if you want to see something on Dialdo, or something that affects global version more, like the list of units that I would like to recommend for you guys to start saving for. Let me know in the comments video what else you guys want to see, and I think this is going to be it for this video this time. I'll see you guys in the next video.